Many thanks to Mini Husseini there. She embarks on her adventure of really understanding the rituals associated with Muharram, and we actually look forward to her adventure as well throughout the next episodes.
Absolutely. It's really refreshing to see young children participate in the activities, isn't it?
It brings you back to my old days, and I'm sure your old days as well.
Not many years ago.
Many years ago, when we grew up within the Husseini atmosphere, wearing the black, for example, and changing certain things at home. But we'll definitely delve into that a lot more in the coming episodes. Today, well, actually now we have what's called our Fiqh section. So we're looking into the jurisprudential aspects of Muharram and Safar, so everything associated with Muharram. Because of course, from our perspective, there's a lot of cultural things that we do, but sometimes actually they fall into what's called Mustahab and Makro. So what are the good things to do, what are the bad things to do? And joining us today is, and as ever for the rest of the series, is Sayyid Mohsin Shah. Assalamu alaikum, Sayyid, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
Good.
Thank you
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Yeah. So you're Imam Hussein's very own.
Indeed, I have a couple of programs that I do with Imam Hussein TV. Alhamdulillah. I hope you've been tuning in and enjoying them, and benefiting from the programs, inshallah.
Definitely.
And we look forward to your input in these coming days and months ahead.
I'll do my best.
Brilliant. Sayyid, so I guess just from an introductory perspective, we're looking at for the benefit of the viewers, we're looking at the sort of the jurisprudential issues, topics associated with Muharram, with Ashura specifically, maybe, as well as Arba'een and Safar, and there's a lot that me and Zahra were talking about. But I think what we really want to do today, I guess, is look into the initial rituals that are deemed to be mustahab in preparation for Muharram, in preparation for the 10 days of Ashura. Yes. Because from a cultural perspective, we were saying that there are certain things that we will do, we won't do, for example. But from your perspective, it just to kick off the session, in terms of the mustahab acts to prepare for Muharram, what are the things that you'd recommend?
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Before I begin, I'd send my condolences to the Imam of our time and also to the Muslim Ummah on this holy and special month where we commemorate and grieve the tragedy of Karbala. Muharram is a very, very special time, and we know from the riwayat how the first of Muharram would come and Imam Sajjad, he would straight away he would just stop being happy. He would start to grieve. Already it was like, in Urdu we have this famous poetry that Muharram ki chand nikal aayi hai. That means the moon of Muharram has come. That as soon as that moon has been seen, it's like a black cloud has just come over the whole. We actually
we have that in Iraqi backgrounds as well. So Ihlal al-Shahr, so it's the crescent of the moon, or the moon of Muharram has come upon us. And actually, you're right. It's an indication of now is the time for mourning.
And you feel it, don't you? I think your soul, before you get into the month arrives, your soul starts to recognize that.
Indeed,
it starts to wind down.
It's really funny because a couple of days ago, not a couple, let's say a couple of weeks, like 20 days, we were celebrating Ghadir, which is one of the biggest Eids in the Shia calendar. And then from one, highlight to, that plummets down, it just goes straight down, and I believe some say Muharram is the first of the calendar, Islamic calendar. I believe we are the only nation, or the only people that actually welcome the new year with tears,
with mourning,
and mourning and grief. We don't celebrate.
So before we go into, they have a question actually from a sister in London. So if I ask you the question, then perhaps we can continue with the conversation. So she says, "Dear Sheikh, can you please advise on the mustahab acts during the first 10 days of Muharram? Someone told me off for wearing a coloured scarf during the first 10 days of Muharram, as this is disrespectful. Is this true, and can you please advise?"
It is mustahab to wear the black clothing, and the reason that we wear the black clothing is to show that we are in a state of grieving. Also, to wear black clothing, I mean, black is the colour of absence, isn't it? So in a way you're showing there's an absence of emotion, there's an absence of happiness, there is an absence of maybe an individual from your family. When we have our own family members pass away, you'll see people who wear black at the funeral, at the janazah. And they will continue to mourn for 40 days. So
sometimes more.
Indeed. So we are trying to, use Muharram as that we have lost one of our own. And indeed, we have lost one of our own, and someone who is in a personality that is greater than our own
Exactly.
relatives and our own loved ones. So it's mustahab to wear the black. Also, the black indicates that you are grieving and you are mourning. Now, when we all rush to the majlis, if a non-Muslim is walking by, what do they see? They will see a crowd of people coming to the mosque. Everyone is wearing black. That person will be thinking, what's going on? Something is going on. Everyone's dressed the same. Something going on. And when they see that for 10 nights consecutively, they will definitely spark some sort of curiosity and some sort of interest into what is happening, and this is a fantastic way to introduce Imam Hussein
Absolutely.
to non-Muslims.
Definitely.
Simply from their own queries.
Without you even actually saying anything, you can even spread a message, because from what you're saying, it's real gold, because to translate that to, for example, modern society, and a lot of people have this issue with, for example, Muharram is coming, but do I change the way I am at work, for example, or at university? And actually it's a bit of a test of faith, I would say, because a lot of people will shy away from it, thinking, well, I don't really want to talk about Muharram because you know, I'm scared of the actual discussion, where it's going to go towards, and you know, so in a way, the way you can translate it from what you were saying is you know, for non-Muslims, when they mourn, they would wear black. So why is it okay for a non-Muslim to wear black, but for us we have to shy away from you know, wearing black or even talking about this, because it's to do with religion, or I'm a bit shy to talk about it.
I wonder if generally we're moving away from sort of, I know in the Western culture they were saying about whether they should continue wearing black. It's a celebration of life, and that's a different conversation. But even I know when we've gone into workplaces, wearing black is quite a statement, because you obviously when you're in a professional environment you have to wear sort of, you know, colours that are sort of work, but then wearing just black is quite a statement. But I think what you're saying is absolutely right, that it's an opportunity for you to explain the commemoration, the whole actions of.
And I think non-Muslims generally, if you explain to them from a way where they can understand, not the thing is, again, it all comes down to how you explain it and the language that you use. So if I'm going to use languages like Muharram, Ashura, Imam Hussein, well, that's not going to resonate with them, because they don't know what Muharram is, or Ashura, or Imam Hussein. But if I tell them, look, a very, very dear person associated with the religion has passed away, not passed away, he was butchered, for example, and you just touch upon the story, and then immediately they'll be like, oh wow, okay, so this is quite powerful, so I can understand why you'd wear the black. So
yeah, I think it's a great opportunity. But the main thing I would like to send to indicate to the viewers is that when Muharram comes, please act in a way as if one of your own has passed away.
So important,
you know,
isn't it?
I come from a Pakistani background, and when one of our relatives, close relatives, would pass away, straight away the TV's off. You're not putting the telly on. There wasn't much entertainment or enjoyment. There wasn't much laughing. And then, you know, straight away you've got people coming over non-stop. One thing was very common was they take all the furniture, put it in another room, and they'll put out a sawad and a piece of cloth on the floor, and people come and sit on the floor to pay their respects. And also there will be a stack of Qur'ans, and you can start, you know, reciting some Qur'an.
And I think in essence what we're saying is that in terms of mourning, is that make your body, soul, heart align, and actually feel that you're going into this period building up to Ashura, because you know, some people say, oh well, Ashura came, or you know, Arba'in came, I didn't feel anything. But you have to make that preparation for you to actually take the full benefits of that period. Because if you're going to just have a normal life, you're going to the cinema, you're having your, you know, television, and suddenly you're not going to switch off and say, this is it, that's, you know, I'm going to go and cry in the evening for Imam Hussein. Make it really impact your soul, isn't it?
It's similar to the way that we welcome Ramadan. You know, when Ramadan comes, you'll see people start to change their spirituality by doing extra activities. They start reading Quran more. They want to start listening to lectures more. They're feeling it because of the hunger and thirst. But it helps them to become a bit more active into that spiritual lifestyle. Same with Muharram. If when Muharram comes, if we could start changing our habits a little bit, just to help us to get us into that spiritual lifestyle, which is through grieving and remembering the Imam and remembering Abu Abdullah al-Hussein, I'm sure we will have a much more positive impact on our spirituality.
So tell me about when it comes to wearing the black, for example, or even attending majalis. What does that come under when it comes to a jurisprudential context?
Jurisprudentially, it is mustahab and recommended, but not wajib, because obviously some people may not be able to afford black. And maybe some people may think, oh, I don't want to wear black, doesn't suit me, or for whatever reasons they don't wish to wear black. By the way, outside of mourning, it is actually makruh to wear all black. It is makruh to wear black. It's very encouraged to wear white.
Yeah.
And I believe the Umayyads were very known to wear black. It was a sign of their tribe, and the clothing, their uniform was to wear black.
Yeah.
And Bani Hashim would wear white and green.
Yeah, they did.
So with the years and with the tragedies, obviously it's changed now. But it's makruh to wear fully black, meaning everything is black. Your distasha, your shawar, your socks, your shoes, all your garments having it black is makruh to wear. So, and those times, you shouldn't wear black. But when it comes to grieving and Muharram, yes, definitely it switches. It's mustahab, and I think that with wearing it, those people who can't, it's understandable, and it's not made wajib for convenience sake. But I think we should, as a community, do our very best to wear black. If you can't wear it during the 10 days of Muharram, please Ashura, just that one day. Yes. And for those of you who do the Mashaya and have seen Arba'in, they call it the Black River, where they had a helicopter, and they followed one of the main pathways into Karbala, into the Haram, and this video goes on for 15 to 20 minutes on a helicopter, and it's a black sea. You can see nothing but black. And it just shows how the community has come, how the community has come and united under this black cloth, you could say, to spread their message.
Would I be able to just go back to the question? So this girl for wearing a coloured scarf, and I know through the years when you attend majalis and you see it in the ladies section, obviously, and I've noticed a lot of younger girls will perhaps wear sort of greys and somber colours, and surely that's okay. And on the day of Ashura, like you said, wear the black. If it's not possible, even for the remaining period till Arba'in, perhaps wear colours that are not so.
We're not coming to a party. We're not coming to celebrate, and certain colours, would go with that theme of joy, and that's not what the theme is of Muharram. It's grieving and it's mourning, and I think it's very important for people to understand the theme, the environment, the mood that we're having in the majlis.
It's funny because if you would have asked those same people, sometimes I find people that defy it and they say, well, no, I don't want to wear black, it's all in the heart, for example, or it's all in the mind. And it's funny because if you would have asked them to attend a non-Muslim funeral, 10 times out of 10 they would definitely be somber, be wearing black, and they'll be very respectful and very silent and respect the rituals associated with that funeral. So, but why is it when it comes to your own religion, your own faith, your own imam, you're going to stand back and say, I want to defy the status quo?
I think what's happening is maybe there is a challenge where it is so frequent that annually we're doing this, and number one, they probably got used to it, so that the novelty's kind of worn off, or that whole spirituality.
That's very important, actually. Novelty,
so they're kind of and secondly, maybe there's a bit of an issue with their spirituality. Maybe they're going through a little spiritual, you could say, episode in their life, where they're becoming a little detached from religion, rather than going back into religion and strengthening their relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the Ummah.
And I think it's like touching on that to say, because we've only got about a minute or so left, is to use these nights to reconnect, because they are, like you were saying earlier, the Shahr Ramadan is an opportunity Allah has given us that, come back to me. And Muharram is exactly that come back to your roots and understand who these people were that we're commemorating, because they're not just anybody. And but any final sort of message for the lot?
My message is I wish a very, very spiritual and beneficial Muharram to all the viewers, and also to remember the Imam of our time, because this is a very, very difficult and painful time for him. And for all those who can actually go and attend Karbala, please go do the ziyarah of Abu Abdullah. Please go visit Karbala during these nights, so that you're actually there where it happened. And inshallah, please remember us in your du'as, and have a very, very beneficial and very, very spiritual Muharram, inshallah.
Thank you very much for your words of wisdom, and obviously pray for us in these nights of Muharram, inshallah.
Thank you for having me, inshallah.
And have a blessed day as well. Thank you so much.
Sayyid, so just to echo the words, thank you very much for your time. And that wraps up today's Morning Baraka. I hope that your mornings are always filled with barakah, and essentially these next couple of episodes we're going to take a bit of a deep dive with the Sayyid into the rituals associated with Muharram and the jurisprudential context to that. Today we've discussed wearing the black, and hopefully in the next couple of episodes we'll look into the concepts of azadari. So we look forward to seeing you then. But from myself and Zahra, we wish you a blessed morning, and hopefully you will be able to benefit from the Muharram sessions coming along, inshallah. And with that, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.